Hello, hello. I'm just clicking buttons to make sure this is working. It's working on Facebook and on YouTube, and it's not working on Instagram. Oh, here we go. There's a delay. Hello, how are you all? Hope you're okay. Okay, if you are seeing this live, it's Sunday afternoon, the 28th of July. I know lots of people will be out in the sunshine. I have been out in the sunshine, but I've had to come inside because sunshine is exhausting. Anyway, if you're watching live, drop me a hey, let me know that you can see and hear me. If you are watching this live and you feel generous / in the sharing mood, I would love it if you would give this a quick share. I wanted to jump on and do a quick the lowdown, the what's, the whys, the hows of the EHCP Success Accelerator, because doors close tonight, that's Sunday at midnight. And I've had lots of questions. And I don't want anyone to miss out. So I wanted to give you a bit of background, really. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Heidi Mather. I'm the founder of EOTAS Matters. I'm the parent of a young person who is autistic and ADHD. I'm also autistic and ADHD. Theo, my son, crashed out of school in 2019 in burnout, and what followed was a nearly 3-year battle to get him a suitable education. And during that process, I learned what lots of parents already knew, and lots of parents are still learning, that the special educational needs system in England is shafted, and that in the process of it being shafted, parents and carers in England are shafted by the special educational needs process. So since then, I've been on a bit of a mission to help other parents and carers who find themselves in similar situations to mine, whereby their children and young people need extra support in school or college, or they need extra support for their home ed children, or they need education otherwise than at school and bespoke packages of education for their children who can't attend school or college. And that's what I do. So I do that through my organisation, EOTAS Matters. I also wrote a book. It's a Sunday Times bestseller. It's called Your Child Is Not Broken. Let me know if you've read it. I was going to say, let me know if you've lost it. Anyway, so I've been working as an advocate in the SEND space now for 5 years. And over the past 12 months, I've really focused on developing tools and resources, trainings, help, advice, information for parents and carers of particularly neurodivergent kids. We have a Facebook community of nearly 12,000 families. I've got an online membership called the Marble Run, where people come for help and advice and information. And I have a lot of people who come to me and say, Heidi, I need help specifically with my EHCP. Can you help me? And so I've always kind of sent people to the Marble Run, and the Marble Run is brilliant, and it's where we help a lot of people. And we also have parents and carers who need a little bit more. And the reason that they need a little bit more is because they are in a bit of a battle, a bit overwhelmed, a bit like at the end of their rope, just having a bit of a nightmare, and they're overwhelmed and overstretched and struggling to manage. And historically, I did do work one-to-one with people, but unfortunately, I haven't got the capacity to do that because of my health. And also, I got to the stage where I had a waiting list of over 60 families. And I was just like, I can't have people on my waiting list knowing that they're never going to get to the top of the list. And like a lot of advocates, I was also on the verge of burnout myself. So I had a bit of a step back. I had a bit of a think. And I thought, right, well, we know that the Marble Run, which is my group membership, we know that works for lots of people. What would be the Marble Run Plus? And that's what I've been working on for the past 12 months. So I've developed a program called the EHCP Success Accelerator. And it is a program for parents and carers who are anywhere in the EHCP process, who are overwhelmed, drowning in admin, not knowing where to start, feeling like they're getting lots of information, lots of advice from different places, but none of it feels reliable, none of it feels accurate, and they just are just sick of having to do this on their own. And so the EHCP Success Accelerator is for those families. It doesn't matter where in the EHCP process you are. I've intentionally designed this program so that we have a roadmap, an EHCP roadmap that I've had designed, which basically helps you look at the whole process of EHCPs, from making a request for a needs assessment. So before you even know anything about EHCPs and know what you would get, and maybe you've been told you'll never get one. So if you're there, right through to going through the assessment process, being refused assessments, needing to lodge appeals, going to mediation, going to appeals and tribunal if needed, getting a draft of a plan, checking your plan, making sure your reports are specified and quantified, preparing for assessments, briefing assessing professionals, making decisions about whether you need to employ independent professionals for anything, dealing with schools, colleges, making complaints where needed, like the whole thing, right through to the blueprint is follow this process, jump on where you are, jump off, jump back on again, dip in and out of the tools, the resources, the trainings as you need to. And when we get to the end, the intention is that you will have a better idea of what your child or young person is entitled to. You'll understand the process. You'll have access to tools that will help cut through the overwhelm and the admin. You'll have a community of people to do that with you. And you'll have a fully specified and quantified EHCP. That's what we're working towards. Because the reason this is so important to me is because I see lots and lots and lots and lots of families who have got EHCPs, and tell me if this is you, and their EHCP is not worth the paper it's written on. And parents are frustrated, angry, pissed off, and rightfully so, that they've put all this effort in and the EHCPs are not doing the job that they should because local authorities are not following proper procedures. Schools or colleges are not following the contents of the EHCP. And so you've put all of this work in and it's not doing what it should. And so the EHCP Success Accelerator is to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it has happened, to get you around that. And the reason that I'm doing it this way, so let me talk to you about the structure of it. What it is it's a 6-week program with live trainings every week for 6 weeks. That is like a crash course in the whole EHCP process. So wherever you are, whether you know absolutely bugger all, or maybe you're a hardened veteran at this, wherever you are in the process, we kind of like zoom out, look at the whole thing, look at the different components of what you need, what ducks you need in a row to get you a good EHCP. Not just get you an EHCP, get you a good EHCP. What do those ducks look like? Which are your ducks? Which are someone else's ducks? Which aren't even ducks? Getting a bit of a plan together for you and cutting through the overwhelm of that, because when you're in the process, you can feel like you are absolutely drowning, and you can get a bit lost, and you lose yourself, and you lose your time with your family, and you lose your connection with your kids, and sometimes you lose your connection with your own sanity, and that's what we're trying to what's what we're working to avoid. So even those of us who, and I learned this by doing it. So I have one of those brains, it's called an autistic brain, but I have one of those brains that when I experience something, one of my talents is that I can convert that into information, trainings, resources, tools for other people, so that if they're going through the same thing, they don't have to have the pain of that as much. And I don't think I'm being a bit of a bell end if I say that. I know I'm really good at that. So that's what I've done. I've applied that to the EHCP Success Accelerator. And I have written these 6 weeks of training, which when you join the program, you can join me live for those trainings, or you can watch them on replay. But then at the end of that 6 weeks, you then also have access to me and the community that we're building through the EHCP Success Accelerator for the next 6 months. Because we know that EHCPs sometimes take a bit of time, and it's sometimes quite complicated. And it's not just as straightforward as you get a document. You've got a living, breathing child in the middle of all of this who needs different support. Maybe they've got complex support needs. Maybe your family dynamic is a bit more different to what other people's are. Every family is different. Every child is different. And every EHCP is different, as it should be. But what I've learned is that it's not just a case of me showing you how to do an EHCP, like how to make an application, what should happen. I can tell you, over those 6 weeks, and I will, what an EHCP is, how you get it, what the pitfalls are, how you make sure you get a good quality EHCP, what happens if the wheels come off and your kid crashes out of school, what happens if school aren't being very supportive, what happens if you get refused at different stages of the process, all of that. I can do all of that with you, and we will do that together. And what we also need is stuff to cut through the admin nightmare that is just the paperwork of dealing with some of these processes, like autism admin, for want of a better word. So like any admin that goes with trying to advocate for your child or young person. And, you know, and if you're anywhere in this process, you've probably got multiple pieces of paper floating about, maybe even lever arch files if you're a very organized person. By the time I got to the end of my EHCP process, I had 2 full lever arch files. I went to tribunal 3 times for my son's EHCP, and I've since supported families one-on-one to go to tribunal as well. And I have 250 families in my Marble Room membership, all of whom have had training on how to go to tribunals. So what we're doing in the accelerator is we're going, okay, so let's look at the nuts and bolts of the EHCP process so that you understand it, and then let me make it easier for you. So one of the things that I've done, and this is what makes the program different to any other program that exists currently, and there aren't many, to be fair, there aren't many people who are doing this because it's a lot of freaking work. I've been working on this for 12 months. I've just had a cohort with me testing this for 6 months, and they've just finished. They finished at the end of June. Off that cohort, over 50% of them have decided to stay on for the next cohort because, like I've said, you get an EHCP, you don't just get it once. You have annual reviews, you have changing needs, you have a child that's growing and maturing and things are shifting and your family dynamic is changing and your relationships are changing and all of that jazz. So, but I think the fact that half of them have stayed on is a testament to how good it is and how valuable it is. So what I have done is I've invested considerable amounts of time, money and effort into building a bank of tools to make EHCP admin easier. Not just EHCP admin, actually, also complaints admin is in there as well. So I've been working with an amazing person who is my like AI whiz, and I have been on a bit of a deep dive myself. I've become a bit of an AI geek. And over the last 12 months, I've developed a bank of tools and resources for every stage of the EHCP process. So for example, in the EHCP Success Accelerator, we talk a lot about how you make sure that if you're having any assessments done, you're properly prepared for it. So you get a decent assessment report, and then that assessment report then feeds into a decent EHCP. And what we've built into that as well is training on how to prepare for an assessment, what to say at an assessment, what might come up at an assessment, what to expect in an assessment, how to check a report from an assessment, and how to go back to the professional and ask them to look at it again if it's not of sufficient specification and quantification to be included in your EHCP. And we have an AI tool for that. We have a report checking AI tool. We also have an AI tool for checking your draft. So when you get your EHCP draft back from the local authority, lots of people are like, I've got a draft, I don't know whether it's any good. I used to offer, as part of my one-to-one packages, a draft checking service. And if you've ever checked an EHCP draft, you will know what a freaking ball ache it is. You will also know that it's basically admin. And what AI is really good at is admin. So I've written a bespoke EOTAS Matters only tool for checking drafts. And we've got 10 different tools that are included in the EHCP Success Accelerator. The intention being that wherever you are in the process, you can go, oh, I need to do this. And then I don't go to you, oh, what you need to do is get a highlighter out and go and sit at your kitchen table for 3 weeks and go through every report and make sure you've got a good color coding system and, all of that. AI does it for us in the program. We've been testing it for 6 months. We're still testing the new iterants of the new tools, and it's ready. So this cohort that come in and join me for the EHCP Success Accelerator this month will be the first people to get their hands on the new improved version of the tools. They're like, we're on 2.0, I guess, version. The first cohort had the first version, and now we've got a new improved version. The first version was brilliant. The second version is absolutely bob on. What we're also doing in the accelerator is the community aspect. So we know that that's really important for parents and carers, that it can be really isolating, depressing, frightening, overwhelming to be going through this process. So together in the EHCP Success Accelerator, we'll address that so that you don't feel on your own, that you have got somewhere to go. And I will be with you for that whole 6-month period. So we'll have a private Facebook community. We'll have our 6 weeks training at the beginning. And then once we've got through the first 6 weeks, we have a monthly offering. So we have monthly community Zoom calls where we can just get together and be like, oh my God, can you believe this happened? This is what's going on for me. I need some help with this. Has anyone else experienced that? I'm not mad, am I? All of those conversations. We'll also have wellbeing sessions because we know that experiencing parenting when your child or young person is struggling to access education, or where your education isn't suitable or fit for purpose, is incredibly stressful. So I've got a team who have put together a wellbeing program for parents and carers. It's neurodivergent informed, it's trauma informed, the first of its kind. And it's a program to support you through the process so that you don't basically lose your shit whilst we're going through this together. And then there's also a monthly spotlight in the EHCP Success Accelerator. So each month you will get a focus on a particular aspect that's coming up for the cohort. So it might be that, for example, lots of people are coming up against missed timelines. So we'll dig into that. Or it might be that lots of people are coming up against professionals not specifying and quantifying. So we'll talk about that. Or it might be that lots of people are asking questions about EOTAS. So we'll dig into that a bit more. So what happens is that the program doors close tonight at midnight, and we start with our first training on the 14th of August. The tools drip in over the 6 weeks. So there's a piece of training on the whatever it is that wherever we are in the process. So for example, our first session is on timescales, managing overwhelm, and there are tools to go with that. So when we get to the session that's on assessments and reports, that's when you'll get your report checking AI tool. Same with the draft checking. So we have the live training and then the tools attached to each training and bonus materials. You also get access to the marble run as well. So the idea is that you have a piece of training and the tools and draft and resources and additional training that you need for each part of the process. What else can I tell you? You have options on payments. It is either $497 if you sign up for 6 months. And if you sign up for 6 months, you also get access to my Unstoppable Parent Program. Yeah, that's right. Or you can split your payments. It is a 6-month commitment, but instead of paying $497 for a one-off payment, it's £107 a month for 6 months. Yeah, and I think that's it. What questions have you got? Someone's saying, do we get access to the draft and working document checker straight away? No, it hits when the training hits. So let me tell you what week the draft check training is. Just getting it up in front of me. Week 3. So where are we at? 14th of August, 28th of August. So yeah. So week 1, we cover overcoming overwhelm, looking at the EHCP roadmap. We have a time blocking tool for you. We have an overwhelm busting tool for you. We have the roadmap tool. We basically have like an audit of where you are now so you can work out what you need to do. Week 2 is all about assessments, reports, and evidence. So that's about helping decision makers make it easy for them to say yes. So the report checking tool is in that week. We talk a lot about how to prep for assessments, the importance of good quality evidence, and what evidence you've got. There's a tool for what evidence you already have and what is missing. Week 3 is requests and appeals. So everything admin. So we have a tool for lodging, for requesting an EHD needs assessment. We have a tool for refusal to assess appeal. We have a tool for a content appeal. Week 4 is central nervous system responses. We've got a guest trainer. It's Kate Jones. She's an educational she's a neurodivergent psychotherapist. And she will come and do a session with us on polyvagal responses, central nervous system responses, how to stop from losing your marbles. Week 5 is drafts and working documents. So we have a draft checker tool, a working document tool, a specification and quantification tool that week. And then week 6 is everything around what setting do you need? How do you make sure that your EHCP is appropriate for that particular setting? So if you're looking at mainstream, if you're looking at specialist, or if you're looking at EOTAS. So yeah, so that's what we cover in the 6 weeks. And then we're together for 6 months. And in those 6 months, we have the monthly spotlights. We have you have everything that you get, including the marble run. So you'll have a body doubling session every other week. Have a marble run guest every month. You also get access to my EHCP Mastery Road Trip, which is a pre-course audit that you get access to from the beginning. Our online community is a Facebook group, which is only for people in the accelerator. Our monthly spotlight training, which I've already mentioned, and practical support for things around well-being. Kate Jones, our neurodivergent psychotherapist, is here with us as well. I think that's all I need to tell you. Oh, and I should tell you that our AI assistant is called Eva, which stands for EOTAS Matters Virtual Assistant. And she's consistently unflappable, super quick, and never has a bad hair day. So she's named after my favourite aunt, and she's the dog's danglies. I'm really, really proud of her. So if you've got more questions, pop them here. Let me know what you need to know. But we do close the doors tonight at midnight, after which the doors won't open again until February 2025. So if you know that you need help with your EHCP in the next 6 months, or just now, basically, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you want to not be as overwhelmed, if you want help with admin, if you want to be around other people that get it, if you want access to me, the EHCP Success Accelerator is for you. It is worth mentioning I have got some VIP slots available, which do also include one-to-one calls with me. If you go to the page on my website, there's information about how that all works. But basically, it's a monthly one-to-one with me and WhatsApp support 1 day a week. So I'm in your pocket 1 day a week. And like I said, doors close at midnight tonight. I would love to have you with us. We've already got a lovely cohort taking shape. Don't sing up at HeidiMaver.com. Sign up at HeidiMaver.com. People on Instagram will be like, what is she talking about? You won't be able to see that. But on Facebook, oh no, you can now. On Facebook and on YouTube, it says sing up. It doesn't mean sing up, it means sign up. So yeah, I hope that is useful information to you. And I will hopefully see some of you over in the accelerator. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't faff about. If you know you want in on this, come and get in with it tonight by midnight. After that, we will not be opening the doors until February 2025. I will see you in there. Bye.